The lie began with a single sentence spoken too fast to take back. "I'm seeing someone," she said, forcing a smile while her coworkers leaned in with curious eyes. The words hung in the air, fragile and false, but everyone nodded, satisfied. Lina didn't breathe again until she was alone in the elevator, heart racing, palms damp, already regretting what she'd done. She had booked a fake date to save face, nothing more than a temporary shield against pity, but she had no idea that one impulsive decision was about to change the entire direction of her life. Lina was tired of being the only single woman at the table. At 29, with a modest job at a design firm and a small rented apartment she loved fiercely, she was proud of her independence. Yet every lunch break turned into a quiet interrogation. "Who are you seeing? Why not try this app? Don't you want to settle down?" The questions were never cruel, just relentless, and they made her feel as if her worth was shrinking with every polite deflection. That was how she ended up on her phone that night, scrolling through a rental service she discovered by accident, a professional companion site meant for social events. It felt ridiculous, even a little desperate, but she told herself it was harmless. One dinner, one evening of pretending, then the questions would stop. She chose him because he looked ordinary. No flashy smiles, no intimidating confidence. Just a calm expression, warm eyes, and a short description that read, "Good listener. Reliable. Discreet." His name was Ethan. The booking confirmation came quickly, almost too quickly, and Lina nearly cancelled twice before the date. But pride pushed her forward. She ironed her dress, practiced casual laughter in the mirror, and reminded herself this was just a performance. Ethan arrived exactly on time, dressed simply in a dark jacket and clean white shirt. He smiled when she opened the door, not the rehearsed grin she expected, but something gentle and genuine. "Hi, Lina," he said, as if they were old friends. "Ready?" She nodded, suddenly aware of how loud her heart was beating. On the way to the restaurant, conversation flowed with surprising ease. He asked about her work, listened without interrupting, laughed at the right moments. When she nervously explained the rules, no real feelings, just pretend, he nodded calmly. "Of course," he said. "I'm here to help, nothing more." At the restaurant, her coworkers spotted them immediately. Lina felt her shoulders tense as she introduced Ethan, expecting him to slip up or exaggerate. Instead, he played his role with effortless grace. He spoke kindly, modestly, never trying to impress. When asked about his job, he simply said he worked in investments, and quickly shifted the focus back to Lina, praising her creativity, her dedication. The admiration in his voice felt real enough to make her cheeks burn. For the first time in months, she felt seen, not as a problem to be fixed, but as someone worth knowing. What Lina didn't expect was how the evening lingered after the performance was over. She expected relief, maybe embarrassment. Instead, she felt an unfamiliar warmth when Ethan walked her home and wished her good night. She told herself it was just gratitude. But when she lay awake replaying his smile, his quiet humor, the way he listened as if nothing else mattered, she knew it was more than that. The next day, she extended the booking. Then again the week after. Each time, she found new reasons: a friend's engagement party, a family dinner, another office event. The lie grew, but so did something else: connection. With each meeting, the boundaries blurred. They talked about childhood memories, regrets, dreams they rarely shared. Lina spoke about her fear of becoming invisible, of being measured by milestones she hadn't reached. Ethan listened, his expression thoughtful, as if her words mattered deeply. Still, he kept his distance. He never stayed too late, never crossed a line. And that restraint made Lina's feelings stronger, more confusing. She began to wonder who he really was beyond the role. When she asked about his past, he answered honestly, but selectively. He had worked hard, moved often, learned to value simplicity. He never mentioned wealth, success, or ambition beyond a quiet desire to live meaningfully. The truth surfaced by accident, the way truths often do, without drama, without warning. Lina had stayed late at work one evening when her boss rushed in, flushed with excitement. "Did you hear?" he said. "The firm across the street just closed a massive deal. The lead investor is some young millionaire, Ethan Ross. Apparently, he keeps a low profile." The name struck Lina like a physical blow. She laughed it off at first, told herself it was a coincidence. But curiosity gnawed at her until she searched his name online that night. The articles were undeniable. Photos she recognized immediately. The same eyes, The same calm smile. Headlines spoke of innovation, wealth, influence. Lina felt sick. She replayed every conversation, every modest answer, every moment of quiet kindness. Was it all an act? Had she been naive enough to believe in something real while he treated it as just another role? When she confronted him, her voice trembled with a mix of anger and humiliation. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked. Ethan didn't deny it, he didn't defend himself either. He simply said, "Because the moment you knew, everything would change. And I didn't want that." He explained that he had joined the service for his own reasons, loneliness disguised by success, a desire to be seen as a person, not a balance sheet. Lina listened, torn between understanding and hurt. "I booked you because I was embarrassed," she admitted quietly. "I didn't want people to pity me." Ethan met her gaze. "And I stayed because I admired you," he said. "Not your situation. You." The honesty in his voice cracked something open inside her. Yet fear lingered. She wondered if their connection could survive the truth, or if the power imbalance would swallow it whole. They took time apart, days that felt heavier than weeks. Lina returned to her routines, but everything felt muted. She realized how much she had grown, not because of Ethan's wealth, but because of the confidence she had found in being valued. When he reached out again, not with grand gestures but a simple message, "Can we talk?" she agreed. They met in a quiet park, no audience, no roles to play. Ethan apologized without excuses. Lina spoke about her fear of being overshadowed, of losing herself. Together, they acknowledged the uncomfortable truth: money could complicate things, but honesty could ground them. They chose, carefully, to start again, not as a performance, not as a transaction, but as two imperfect people willing to risk sincerity. Their relationship unfolded slowly after that, with clear boundaries and open conversations. Ethan never tried to impress her with wealth. Lina never pretended to be anything other than herself. They supported each other through challenges, her career struggles, his pressure-filled world, learning that respect and communication mattered more than status. In time, Lina stopped feeling the need to prove anything to anyone. She no longer measured her life against others' expectations. The fake date that began as a shield had become a mirror, reflecting back her own worth. And Ethan, the man she once hired to pretend, became someone who chose her freely, without pretense. The story didn't end with fairy tale perfection. It ended with something better. Two people standing on equal ground, aware of their differences, committed to honesty. Lina learned that saving face was never as important as saving self-respect. And Ethan learned that real connection isn't bought, it's earned through humility and truth. In the end, the lie that brought them together was undone by the courage to be real, leaving behind a lesson that resonated far beyond their story: authenticity, once chosen, has the power to transform even the most unlikely beginnings.